in one of the worst kept secrets in the garage area, Aric Almirola is indeed not retiring. Of course, back in, I guess, January or February, Aric Almirola announced that 2022 would be his final NASCAR Cup Series season. He's been with SHR since 2018. Was looking to have one last season. I don't know what the other word would be, but kind of a send-off, a goodbye to NASCAR, a goodbye to full-time racing. Wanted to spend more time with his family. Well, that has been pushed to 2023. This has been widely speculated, widely rumored and stuff. And now Jim Utter from motorsport.com is reporting on it, wrote an article on it. So here's what that article says. Almirola, 38, has agreed to return to Stewart Haas Racing's number 10 Ford team for the 2023 season. Multiple sources with knowledge of Aric Almirola's decision have confirmed to motorsport.com. Smithfield Foods is also expected to return as the primary sponsor of the number 10 for what will be his final season. They have been a partner of Almirola's for the last decade. An official announcement of Almirola's plans is expected within the next 2 weeks. A spokesperson for SHR did not immediately return a request for comment on Friday afternoon. In a Zoom call with reporters earlier this week, SHR's Chief Competition Director Greg Zipadelli was asked about uncertainty regarding the driver of the number 10. We've waited a lot longer to make some of those decisions to try to build around, so I think we'll be fine there, he said. We've got a couple of good options and just kind of waiting to see how everything plays out. So yes, Aric Almirola, as I said already, widely speculated, he's not retiring. That's why I'm not shocked in this video. If there was no reports of this and he just suddenly got to retire, I'd be a little bit more shocked, but this has been talked about for a while now. So it's not shocking news at all, but it does answer some questions in terms of other kind of storylines and drivers and teams in terms of the whole silly season that's going on, with the biggest piece of the silly season, Kyle Busch especially. But Almirola is going to be back in the 10. We'll talk about that first. Almirola is going to be back in the 10. As I said, he's been with SHR since 2018. He has 3 career wins, 2 of those with SHR. Last year at New Hampshire, and then in 2018 at Talladega. That other one came in 2014 with Richard Petty Motorsports. What at the time was Richard Petty Motorsports in the 43 car. He won at Daytona in a rain-shortened race. He was with Richard Petty Motorsports from 2012 to 2017. Of course, then he moved over to SHR. He's made the playoffs, obviously, a couple of times. Last year he made the playoffs with that win at New Hampshire. 2018 he made the playoffs, made a deep playoff run in 2018, actually made it to the round of 8, I believe. So he has had some success in his career. No, he has not had a Hall of Fame career. He has not competed for championships, really, but he does have some wins. He has run up front before, and he's had a pretty decent career, to be honest. I mean, he's won 3 Cup Series races. Not a lot of people can say that. But the decision to unretire obviously gives him an opportunity for more, another chance at potentially a playoff run, a deep playoff run, maybe a championship. I doubt it, but you never know. But, yeah, this is not shocking just because of how widely reported and speculated it was that Almirola would not be retiring. He's obviously going to have the Smithfield backing. I wouldn't be shocked if that was the primary kind of motivation. Smithfield, they obviously are pretty loyal to Aric Almirola, starting with him at Richard Petty Motorsports and then moving over from Richard Petty Motorsports to Stewart Haas. They have obviously been deeply invested in Aric Almirola, so I guess if they had one more year on their contract, they said, we want Almirola in the car. Stewart Haas Racing talked to him. He said, fine, I'll do it one more year. But it does sound like, while he is unretiring this year, it does sound like next year will be the final year. He's only 38 years old, so that is still pretty young for a race car driver to retire. But it does sound like he wants to spend more time with his kids, with his family, with his wife, the whole family, you know. But, yeah, this is not too big of a shocking news story. But this is now kind of, it's starting to unravel. It's starting to become true. It's no longer just kind of rumors and speculation. There's actual reports on it, and it's expected for an official announcement in just a few weeks. So, Aric Almirola, he is staying in the Cup Series. He's staying in the number 10 car. What does that mean for the rest of the open seats or drivers who are not signed? Well, there's one driver. I don't know if we've talked about him on here before. I really don't. He's this guy. He hasn't done much in his career. He just has a few wins, a couple of championships. Kyle Busch, have you heard of him? Of course, we have to talk about Kyle Busch again. Kyle Busch is in contract negotiations. Apparently, it's broken down with Joe Gibbs Racing. He's talking to other teams, Stewart Haas Racing, Colleague, 2311, and of course, apparently now RCR. We talked about that this morning. So, what does this mean? Kyle Busch, one of those teams I just listed, was Stewart Haas Racing. Well, Stewart Haas Racing might be eliminated from the Kyle Busch contention. Earlier this week, we talked about how Greg Zipadelli, he said that Cole Custer is, as of right now, he's going to stay in the 41 car for 2023. So that eliminates that option. There was already speculation Almirola was staying in the 10. Kevin Harvick's not going anywhere from what we know, and Chase Briscoe's not going anywhere. So there's no open seats at Stewart Haas Racing for Kyle Busch. As of now, of course, they could, if they can strike a deal with Kyle Busch, I think they would boot Cole Custer out. But at the same time, Cole Custer is the son of a higher up at Stewart Haas Racing. But I really don't know. Custer has not performed great in the 41. But, I don't know. I mean, if it were up to me and I had an opportunity at Kyle Busch, I think I would boot Custer out for Kyle Busch. But I don't know what the plan is at Stewart Haas Racing if that situation arises, but the way it's looking right now as of today, August 19th, 2022, is that Stewart Haas Racing is locked up for 2023. Harvick and Briscoe, no questions there. They are staying. Almirola is now staying. It sounds basically confirmed. This is a pretty reliable source. This is the guy who first reported that Brad Keselowski was going to buy a share in Roush Fenway and was going to drive for them as well. So yeah, it's pretty much locked up at Stewart Haas Racing. Custer's going to stay in the 41. It's going to be the same lineup as this year. Same lineup it was last year. It's been a pretty consistent lineup. But, yeah, as for Kyle Busch, what does that mean? Pretty simple. If this is true, if they're truly going to keep this driver lineup, if they're not going to kick Cole Custer out, Kyle Busch now has just a couple options left. He has Colleague. He has apparently RCR, which I still can't believe. And he also has 2311 Racing, of course, if he can't get a deal done with Joe Gibbs, which does not sound like it's going to happen. So Kyle Busch, looks like he's going to have to look outside of Stewart Haas Racing. They don't have any room for him. So Almirola's decision to unretire is affecting other decisions across the NASCAR world, including Kyle Busch's, the guy who we have been talking about for months now. So, yeah, other news that's happened, nothing big, really. Just, Almirola's unretiring. So, not too big of a shock. We've already talked about it a few times on here, but Almirola, a decent driver. He's in a pretty decent car when it's competitive. Back in 2018, he had a good season. Last year, that win at New Hampshire was very impressive. So, Almirola's a decent driver. Looks like he's going to have one more year in the NASCAR Cup Series. So, good for him. Don't know what else to say on that. But as for Kyle Busch, it looks like it closes the door for Stewart Haas Racing. He's going to have to go somewhere else. So, anyways, that's all I got for today. I was going to do the Joey Logano Championship case tonight, but now that this came up, I'm going to postpone that to tomorrow night. So, the plan currently is, this is the plan. Tomorrow is qualifying and practice. We are going to do a report on that. We're going to talk about how all the international drivers that are in this race, where they qualified, how they're looking, how competitive are they going to be? We're going to give a Watkins Glen preview. I haven't done a lot of previews the past year or so, so we're going to do a preview of the Watkins Glen race. We're going to talk about that. Tomorrow night, assuming there's no news, which Saturday night I would expect there not to be, we're going to talk about Joey Logano's championship case. And then as for Sunday, I am traveling, but it's in the morning, so assuming everything goes right, I should be able to watch the race, and I should be able to make a normal video. It won't be here. You won't see this background. But assuming the flight leaves on time, assuming everything goes smoothly, which sometimes it doesn't. That's how traveling works these days. Sometimes it doesn't go smoothly. But assuming it goes smoothly, I will be watching the race from somewhere, excited to be a NASCAR fan, and then after the race, as I usually do, I will give my full race recap, review, tell you what I think. So, that's the plan right now. So, quick 10-second conclusion. Tomorrow, qualifying in Joey Logano Championship case. Sunday, assuming everything goes according to plan, race recap. If everything doesn't go according to plan, just check the community post. I'll keep you updated. But yeah, really excited for the race this weekend at Watkins Glen. NASCAR news has been crazy the past month or so. We've seen disqualifications. We've seen Kyle Busch rumors everywhere. We've seen Aric Almirola is now unretiring. I can't wait to see what just absolute curveball comes next. Like, watch the next thing be Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s buying, I don't know, like Hendrick Motorsports, and he's going to turn the team into Kia Souls or something. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. But anyways, that's the end of this video. Have a great day.